Hello. Hey, Roadhog. I had some difficulties, but I managed. Got a extension for the mirror or the webcam. Covers up all the desolation. It's like the end of the world out there. Yeah, you see that thing that moves up on the left there by my on the other side of my shed? Every time I have my window open and that moves, my eyes just dart right over there. Hey, nothing. I love you, baby. So how's that picture? Guys, I had it setting up on the stand up higher so it looked just down at the yard. And the bottom third of the screen was having a mental breakdown. And if I tried to reset the camera, it went black. The screen mesh was just too much for this poor old webcam. So I moved it right into the window. Yeah, when I upload them. Hello to one and all. Nothing there. Private chats in the YouTube channels. You can talk to them about it if you want. So what up? Who else is lurking? I didn't ask you to. Hey, Ohio. Who is she, Freedom? Give us some details. Is she moaning while you're driving her? Yes, I'm changing the subject. Oh wow, we made it all the way to the end of my chat window. What a record. So Nuck and I are going to turn that view into something beautiful. From that tree on my right to the shed is going to be something that grows something that covers up all of that other side of those two items. Driving to work, Freedom? I'm not talking right at the moment because I'm holding my breath with my medicine in my lungs. I wouldn't go that far road, but hopefully nothing will come of it. Man, what a video you put up there. I don't know if nothing saw it yet. She's been busy, standing on her porch, watching armed thugs break the law. But apparently somebody questioned whether Rhodes was telling the truth or not about something. And he chose to respond with a video. I can't believe you only have 375 subscribers. Oh, and I didn't get to watch the storm down. I watched the first one. Let's watch the second one. You can listen in.
I do a video for you people who insist that moles are not as big as I say they are, and I am perpetually.
God, what a sexy voice.
Trying to find one of my traps, and I don't really know where I put it. Oh, there it is. Okay, here's the trap. That has done no good. It has caught nothing, so we'll be moving that trap later today.
Oh, God, I can't believe somebody said moles are only 2 inches. What a bunch of morons. Have they ever stepped out of their building?
And tape measures do not lie. And I even brought a pocket scale with.
That's not true, Rhodes. I had a line tape measure.
So,
It was a gag
you
gift.
guys just all bullshit.
And no name, no name.
Ever again.
I seen you chatting away last night.
Okay, we'll gather up the moles from yesterday.
Yesterday's moles. That's got to be like a
Here we go.
soap opera.
See the size of his flippers? They're gigantic. It's a pretty big mole. There's his tail. They have very little rear feet. And you can
No, they're pushers. They hunker down and pull.
Ones are definitely designed for digging and making a huge mess.
Curious though, no name, how you found my room.
Okay, let's get down to it.
Not that you have to say.
Down here for a second.
I know.
Okay, I have him back. Let me come into focus here. As you see,
I see.
from the ass end, I actually don't have it all the way to the ass end. To the front.
Well, no name, I gotta tell you, you're not really doing it right, because there are people out there that get paid to do that to us.
Let them pull it up.
But we do appreciate it. It's important right now. They're trying to really mess us over.
Come on, focus.
Oh, where is it? I'd have to reposition the camera and it would shake all the way around. But I will move it over in a bit. Do you have content? I mean, I'll sub you back and not hit the bell if you just need subs. If you have content, then I'll have to look at that and decide from that. So there's two options with me. So keep your enemies close and everyone else is worse than them. I don't remember how that goes. Back in 2013. My first protest to the establishment, authoritative people that rule you would have been 66. But I didn't really get it on Kodak Instamatic or Polaroid, either one. So actually, I think I've got you subbed twice, No Name, but that would mean I had two channels, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's very important. People are finding ways around it, but unless you have like the premium accounts, it might be some kind of safety, but it's not what you're expecting. You might as well just carry a tape recorder in your pocket, basically. Knuckin, that's very mean. Who would say such a thing, Knuckin? Where did you hear that? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's just rude. Hey, Texas. He is my mirror in Texas. I'm trying to be as big as Texas. So. Good to see you, Texas. Yeah, I'm so rogue that I have ad block. I'm sorry, I don't watch anybody's commercials. I don't care if they get paid. I'm not going to meet that contract. Well, No Name, I was way worse than you. I borrowed my grandma's, so they didn't find mine. The little rectangle ones, about 3 inches tall, that you put the little cassette in, and 4D batteries, and ran about 2 hours. Joe Black is awesome. I love his intro, except for the tennis shoes. He could have wore better shoes. But I do what he did in his intro with my pictures. I've shown a few of them to Knuckin when I figure out how to show them here. Yeah, he had to push 2 fingers, record and play, to get it to record. And then I had to stop and fast forward and rewind. And then they made the cassette on 2 sides, so you could open it up and flip it over and have double the recording. But then you had to flip it over to play the other side. Yeah, that's why they replaced them with that technologically advanced 8-track player. Now that was the whip. You could open that up and hide a 1/4 ounce of weed in that sucker and it still played. Well, it stopped here, Knuckin. They don't have any rain coming here till Saturday. Ben, you missed about 8,000 leaves blow by the window. You caught up. Yeah, Pugface can improve the video. Yeah, I know. 8-track sucked. But when you had nothing else for noise, you go go to my cousin's house, and her mom had the Jackson 5 best of and Johnny Carson or Johnny Cash. You had two choices. You getting around good, Ben? Play them side by side, and the LP was still 10 times more powerful for sound. And you really haven't had anything that sounds like a record. Way to go, Texas. You can put up an RV lot there so we can stop by? Cops misusing public funds, yep. Nuckin, I think, Nuckin videoed some questionable activity by the law enforcement yesterday. They got you over 1,000, Nuckin. I told you. I told you you'd make it. Yeah, I did too on both of them. And rode double, put it into one. You bastard, man. Wow, mine's way better than yours. Mine's 2100 in both eyes. I see 5 times better than you do, Ben. Macomb. What did I just see about Macomb County? Was it like the sheriff was arrested and put in jail? Ah, yeah, the piece of shit thing. Okay. Where he calls the lady in. What does POS mean? Yeah, he came up with a really nice 3-letter combination. I'd have let him. I'd have said, "Yep, that's what it means, Hunter." Well, Ben, and I hate to have you have to look at the screen out here at the end of the world in my yard. But socialism will rebuild it for me. Good job, Ben. On that corruption stuff, make sure you got yourself covered. I would file a complaint against the chief myself. Unlawful orders. In fact, you might even be able to pull the woman card. He treating you like a woman and go that route. I don't know if she can, Rode. I've tried to read all the Pennsylvania laws I could, and according to the law, the Supreme Court says that police paperwork is not public paperwork. Court paperwork is the only paperwork that's public. So I don't know how it works. You know, you can't trust Google, even if it says it's the government's website. Yeah, but judges think dogs are better than women, so I'd go with the woman end. All right, never mind. And he didn't treat you like a dog, because if any of your dogs would have come out to greet him, he wouldn't have treated you like go back inside. That's is he filing a police report on them and putting them in juvie? Because that would be the next step after you put them in a police car. That's considered arrest. You're detained. According to the rules, I'm not sure about your state. I know about Michigan. I do a lot of reading on the wonderful government websites they offer. I did some reading yesterday, quite interesting, on swearing and cussing in public, probably because I watched so much of Eric. Might even have been that POS thing that sent me on the way. But Michigan is pretty specific. There is a $500 fine and for cussing, and it explicitly explains that cussing and swearing is either using God, Christ, or the Holy Spirit in a profane manner after you've reached the age of, it wasn't understanding, but that's what it meant. So even as a teenager, if you swore, you could go to jail if you used God, Christ, or the Holy Spirit. Everything else is fair game. Interesting, huh? Well, not in my city, because my video is of inside the what they call the Secretary of State's. You may be talking about the main office or something, but they didn't even care I was filming. The only person that cared was sitting in the seat. He took a picture of me. Well, Ben, I have a feeling if he picked up your kids and put them in a police car, that would end in a whole different situation. Well, if swearing anything but those three things was illegal in Michigan, you could drive through any of the cities with every police car you had and pull every person out sitting on their porch that's yapping at their friends. Pro se. I've never had to go pro se in criminal court, but I have been whatever they call it in civil court. There's two different words for it. Different states use different words. But I took on AAA, or they sued me. Wonderful insurance companies. That case was got to be the quickest case in civil history. They sued me because a drunk ran into the side of my pickup while I was turning on a green arrow, which means he ran the red light, and he got carpal tunnel from the accident. Now, the person they had wanted to testify was a woman who was in one of the straight lanes, stopped behind three cars, who was going to testify. The lights were still green. But I didn't get that far. The judge asked me one question. I politely answered the question. AAA asked for a few minutes private discussion. They came back and dropped the case. Funny. I wasn't a genius. They were just morons. They were my insurance company. They were suing themselves, but were too dumb to even check because I refused to answer any of their letters. However, when I first got it, I went into the office and told them that they had to represent me. I just don't know how dumb some people can be. But those were attorneys, so let's all trust in attorneys. Carpal tunnel from a car accident that you caused, that you get to sue the person you hit. Railroad, the Constitution specifically applies to him since you have the Bill of Restrictions. There's 10 of them that limit government. They don't empower us. They don't give us shit. They limit the government ability to stop us doing stuff. But then ever since the articles were written, every new law has been to circumvent that. I've been around attorneys since my early 20s, and there's still people when you take the card away and the clothes off, there's still a naked person. And they're good and bad. I've had them go to bat for me when I was destitute, and I had a divorce attorney take my case for $300. So I can't say they're all bad. He did a shitty job, but I did my own job on my divorce. So he was surprised when the paperwork I gave him to walk in the room asked for alimony, and I got it. So, well, Ro, could you just type the next sentence in quantum grammar so I can understand it? Really don't want to have that discussion here, Ro. I knew I did my paperwork. Well, this particular attorney that was my wife's attorney in law, criminal law, I would stop at the office to pick her up like an hour before we left because we had one car, and I had problems with visitation in a court in another county. So for an hour a day, every day, 5 days a week, I spent in the law library researching and reading and reading and writing. And 6 times I went to court, and the judge had to give me back visitation. Until the 6th time, when he, after he hit the gavel and gave me half the summer, decided because the friend of the court and my ex-wife cried and left the room, I should be denied visitation to my daughter forever until she was 18. But, I have yet to meet a judge that I could say was a person when they took their robe off. Maybe they're out there. Well, Rode, I went through 8 minutes and 44 seconds of his speech and tore him apart 15 ways, so we really don't want to get into it. I mean, I've only got about 4 hours studying it, which is why I won't talk to Second Son about it, Rode. Why would I want to talk to somebody when I have no idea what they're talking about? My brother was the first person in Kent County or Benzie County to ever get custody who was a male of his children. And that was after 185 lies in court by everybody but him, his attorney, and the fact that he was living with his mother. And the judge pointed it out that he still wouldn't have given him custody, except for he was living with his mother. But men aren't discriminated against ever, especially not white men. We get it all. Really? See, it's slow, but it's happening. Well, okay, Ben, I'm not sure. Oh, the judge. Okay, well, there you go. You know a good judge. I told you, there are people. They just take their clothes off and they're a naked person. It's what they are when they don't have them on that matters. I don't mean that sexually at all, though every comment I make is normally lewd. I just haven't met one, Ben, and I've met a lot. They offer an opinion and they think they're God. Everybody has an opinion. And I'm glad he was there for you. I really am. I think that's really good. Nothing to say. You coming up with any ideas? I would love to build a portable stand to hang the vegetables and herbs off of that you could take apart and transport and design it to fit between those two. So you could just pull in, pull everything out, set it all up. Pretty sure that hanging jugs are probably the way to go. Bad laws. It's the laws that are bad and how they can interpret them. Your oldest is graduating next week. And the water, yeah, we want to have it integrated with the waterfall you can take apart. That way you can water with a mister out of it, or are there plans for after that, or I hope he's got or she's got plans. No, no, you won't. We'll make one out of things from Michigan. Yeah, the reserves. Both of my brothers, or two of the three of my brother's grandchildren, both went into the Marines, and the oldest girl has gotten out and I was getting married and has a kid on the way. But it set her up with an education and she's ready to go. And her little brother, he's still in the Marines. The third one was the black sheep. We'll just leave him out of it. So it's getting up there. I'm pretty protected from the wind, so when I'm getting that kind of blow, we're up at 20 mile an hour. Little tiny wind tornadoes. I love building houses, Ben. That was so fun. Furniture was fun, yeah, but furniture was a lot more tool-oriented equipment. Huge, whereas the building was a skill saw, a hammer. You had to shut it. Well, it's about 48 out here, but to me that's pretty warm. That's shorts and t-shirt weather. I do have, looks like two of the perennials that were planted when I moved in are still coming up. Should get one flower by the shed, and I got a shrub out there at the end to cover in about 5 years. Cover that whole ugly spot over there behind their trailer. If I can run them from my cell phone and they'll work, if they hook up to Wi-Fi, I could probably use tools, but damn road I can't even hold a gun on, let alone a rake. Yeah, I love plaster. We had that deep Spanish texture in the house I had with curved arches instead of a 90-degree corner to the ceiling. The ceilings were flat. I mean, there were 9/16 inch holes in the plaster. Was so thick. Hell of a time painting it. You couldn't even paint it with a concrete roller. It still wouldn't get in all those little holes. Yeah, all those things are pretty much too hard for me to manage at the moment. But there's a chair in my daughter's garage, and they build tables. They built their kitchen table and benches, and then 3 weeks later they built somebody else's table. Yeah, she needs a hammer drill. We'll be back in business with the fountains if she can get a hammer drill. No, Ro, don't say that. We'll be headed to your house next. Yes, Ro, we've already started discussing the construction of my waterfall, and we've already agreed that the very top of the waterfall that the water comes out of is going to be a skull. Wouldn't have to guess where we're getting it from, would you? I'll bet you could guess. Anybody want to watch Reptar eat? Man, I've used a concrete saw a lot. We built a church while I was laid off at the factory with 16-inch block. That is a project. When you're carrying a 16-inch block on each hand and walking up a 2x14 to get on the first level of the scaffolding, all of a sudden you're beefy. That tears muscles apart and builds them and builds them. You got to move the wall too. That's quite a project, man. All just to go to the bathroom, huh? How to paint? You got a better idea about how to paint without your PJs on? Put the waterfall in the house and paint the wall? Well, Rode, you and I would just be a consummate pair because I can't do a damn thing with metal except break it. But you stick a tiny bit of straws and compact them over the years, I can cut that shit up. Cool. You really want to mess with my eyes. Last time I used blacklight was at the fun Craig's Cruisers. They have a laser gun room that's full of black light, and we all wore white. It will look great with the skulls. Does anyone want to see Reptar eat? Take a minute of moving stuff around. Yeah, well, Uncle plan is to make this home a lot bigger, but I want to take out that log, the big feeder. They don't really go. I want to put sand in it, so I want to have sand in the skull and the one rock in his hammock. Yeah, no, my brother lets us go over there. He's got a nice pond we can record too. Well, I really thought we'd had squirrels by now, but I guess it's gonna have to wait till afternoon. And I got nothing to say, and I'm sure everybody's got stuff to do. So I'll go get Reptar some food. I thought you said brush hog. I got my pointer right in the middle of the screen right there. I thought you said no brush hog. All right, everybody grab hold of something. No tramp stag there. Let's see what the TV does. I tried to put it on TV before, and now I can't see nothing. But can I do the TV? See, the TV doesn't work. I can't point at my screen. I wonder if I could point at the reflection in my screen. And this cord always fights me on this stupid little stand. All right, give me just a minute. Hey, Knuckin. you hear them demon voices? Yeah, you see your food? You see your food. Ooh, look at that eye. Look at that eye. We're just gonna follow that all the way around. Wow, this is the coolest room in the house. You're probably pissed at me. Okay. Let's feed Reptar. Let's keep the air out. I'm gonna have to water him later. Nice thing about desert animals, if you get to water them, they're a desert animal. Little croutons in your salad today. Isn't that a meal fit for a king? Live mealy worms. I don't even know what the picture looks like. I hope I got it in. Well, that took forever. All right, I'm back. Bye, Ben. I miss bye. Hi, Spirit. I need it 15 degrees warmer than room temperature normally. So I run the warm water in the sink until it feels right. And he'll get water in another hour or so when I get up to go to the restroom. Just took so long to get his salad because it's the bottom of the romaine. And I'm eating more salad because little shit can't have the white parts of the romaine. So I could buy him a leafier, like kale, he won't eat. And I don't blame him, I don't eat kale either. But spinach was supposedly poison and toxic to him. But he loves those mealyworms. That's going to be our fish bait too, Nuckin. They won't be them stinky old dirt worms. He's been a good companion. But I got him used to a certain feeding schedule, and now in the morning he comes and looks at me if I don't feed him on time. It's like, and I have the wired cage open on the top because if you read the lights, about 60% of the light is blocked by that black screen. So even though you get a light bulb, daylight bulb for him, it's hardly efficient at all. So I just open the screen up and give him full light. But he's still pretty light from when it got really cold in here 3 nights ago. He was almost the color of the bottom of his belly. He probably is about done. He has to go warm up and digest before he can come back and eat the rest. Which I don't know if that means I'm feeding him too much, but he is fat on salads. He's just digging, looking for the live ones now. Gonna eat the cream of the crop. A little salad to go with the worms. Lo says salad. I told you when you get here, you buy whatever you want. Except a lock to my door. I don't want to get locked out. It is starting to cool off. Must be about 45 now already. But the wind died. It should have felt warmer. That's why I think the temperature's going down. And we're not supposed to have snow now on the weekend. We're supposed to get rain. So 60s by the like the end of the first week of May. 40s at night, 60s in the day. Which puts 70s right around the corner, knocking by the end of the month. Everything, I wouldn't even exclude a snake, but there would be rules. It can't be bigger than mine. If they run loose, I can't catch them. That's the only thing with a lizard. If you let them out and run loose, then you got to put them on a leash, and they got to be trained to be on the leash, or they get all freaked out and stressed out. We'll just have to see. You can bring everything but a boyfriend. Is it just us now, the three of us, Spirit and you and I? Not Spirit left too. No, maybe not. I didn't clear the chamber. Really can't eat no more, can you? You gotta go digest. You can probably see on there that I cleaned the cage again yesterday, and he left a nice big thing laying there by his tail. Every time I clean the cage, he's got to mark his territory with his fecal material. They can't piss like other things, so he pisses out his butt, and it's white. It's like attached, so you get a multicolored turd. How disgusting. I want to get a scooper and sand so I can just scoop it out instead of waiting until it's hard. At least it doesn't stink bad. God, some animals, whew. Yeah, during strawberry season, all the wild animals flush themselves. Phew. Get rid of all that rotten nitrates and crap that come from eating all the wood and bark and all that sugar, and that acid breaks it all up. Man, they can stink. Well, I know you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. Thank God you don't talk. We'd be in an argument. No, you go to your channel, and it has to say community in one of the sections, somebody was saying. It's not always immediate, but sometimes if you refresh your home, You'll have to try again today, and if it works, then you can get ready tonight if you want. So that's it, Spirit. They're talking about no more snow. I'm so sad. How long till winter? Maybe one more bite. Maybe I could get. Oh, he can't even lift himself, the cow. Just another piece of lettuce. Now I gotta have another Caesar salad tonight. Because I can't bring myself to throw away all the rest of the salad. When I could walk, I would have preferred winter was 12 months out of the year. Well, you should try to go live first before you go through all that effort and putting clothes on and everything. Which island? Beaver Island or the island of the Grand Ohel? Mackinac Island. Yeah, Knockin', we had a king for a while. There was a king of Beaver Island. I knew his grandson. Ah. Yeah, there was a few audits in Battle Creek lately. On Mackinac. Yeah, I've been there once. It created, well, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, when there was still tourism, 70s especially, we called everybody that came north to celebrate summer and fudgies, because they wanted that Mackinac Island fudge, which is awful. It is the worst fudge there is. Oh, man. Anything that's worse just tastes like wax. But we ended up having to use the horses when I spent the weekend there, because they were last weekend in October before they shut it down. They were putting in telephone lines. They hit the electric line, and the whole city lost power. Oh, they still call them that? Yeah, well, I lived up, north of Manistee County and south of Grand Traverse County, and yeah, we called them fudgies. But I like dark, semi-sweet fudge anyways, better than that sugary, waxy fudge. In fact, our trip back across was an exciting trip because there were two types of boats. The ferry that had a double decker, and then the more pleasure boats, 22 footers, a 25 footer. Well, they were all grounded because there were 12-foot swells. So the ferry boat was the only one that could go, but you couldn't go on the second story because pretty much it would be like swimming upstream to climb the steps. It was about a 6-inch waterfall coming down the steps and draining out the side door. And about 80% of the trip, you could only see water out of both sides of the windows. But I grew up in the water, so to me it was nothing. However, my wife was a motion sickness person who had left her motion sickness pills in the glove box. And I will just say at this point, yes, she is Polish, but not my wife anymore. Never met a horse that didn't intimidate me, nothing. A boha. Hey, Road. Oh, I'm back. I really can't interpret your sentence. And I'm high, so I should be able to. It activates my one brain cell. He hates horses. They always intimidated me. I never had one of my own, but I've probably been on a dozen. And I can't tell you how many we watched at the racetrack. I don't think that counts. But my dad did shovel the stalls at Northville Downs for about 6 years, so he might have got to know those horses. Okay, I got it. I was only Polish by injection, Road. Never on my own. Brian Johnson. I don't have permission to view his stuff, so or play his stuff. But I'll go look at it. I probably, if it came up. When did it come up? Today? I'll be. Well, as long as you're certified, what agency certified you? Yesterday? It's about his dad or about his property or any news or what? We should have told him not to claim the body because then the state has to bury it. Would have saved him. I didn't even think about that. When you really can't afford it, if you don't claim the body, they will bury it for you. I know it's not the best thing. Oh, about burning his dad? Well, burying his dad, sorry. Eyes are a little glazy thinking about. I lost my dad at the beginning of the year. But Michigan, you gotta wait till the ground's thawed to get to the cemetery. Okay, everybody go to that. Hi, Michelle. Is it still playing? Or is that a, what are we talking, community? Is it going on now? Is it over? Bohemian Hobby Picker. Still wondering who certified you. Okay, so it's already shut down. But then that can be uploaded if it's shut down, right? Or is it still my parents? Oh, your parents certified you. So my parents spanked me, fed me, clothed me, taught me to get the hell out at 18. I remember them certifying me, though. I know my father claimed I was one of the dumbest kids on the planet. So they took her in, huh? my mother and father, it makes for a strange heritage, Ruth. My mother ended up with 4 names at birth because the nurse first asked the husband, then asked the wife, and put all 4 of them down. And the doctor spelled my father's name different than the family name on purpose. So my history goes back 1 generation. I know, Rod, you're banned from Prairie's channel still. And everybody's tried to say something, so I don't know. I don't know how many hours in the day that they're spent on that. Related to everybody with kennel. Everybody who's named Kennel, you're related to? Kumanini, really the facts seem to be that a troll with the road name came in there and was quite rude, and all of the roads got banned because of it. Oh, it was your real name? Well, I know it's your real name, but I don't mean it was originally the... Because I have to be honest with you, there were a couple days in Pajama Audit streams where people that had close to the name, I banned one person that's name was John, and I didn't even see the last name because the first John was so rude. But we're not perfect as mods, and they're their channel, so I tried when I was in there to talk to Mrs. Potato, but then she had to leave to go get the kids, so that didn't work out, I don't think. But if I'm in there again, I'll mention it. I got banned in a couple of channels early on when I first started watching last summer because all I did was type the judge's opinion that was going to come down from this, and I was getting banned for it. It was like, I know you want to believe this, but here's what the court ruling will end up being. And they thought I was a troll because of it. I never ran anybody down or said anything nasty. I just was honest. The trolls were in Flo's room one night. Did you see what happened yesterday, guys? I was in 3 separate streams where the trolls jumped in and took up the whole... they went way more than 200. I don't know how they did it. Because I scrolled through 3 rows, and it was the same person, the same message, only one time his name was there. And it was all like squiggly stuff. And then they banned him, and then another person came in and did it. And they banned him. And then I went in the next stream, and then Eric's stream had happened. So I hit their names and put spam on each of them, but a lot of good that does. It forces the AI to run through it. That don't mean it's going to hit his algorithm or her algorithm. I don't mean to assume that a male AI is any smarter than a female AI. Or anything in between, I guess, at that point. Did you see his videos of the eagles? He had a fledgling eagle, a pre-fledgling eagle on his video. But it was a live road, not like a dead mole. I did watch one channel yesterday where the kid's trying to trap armadillos, and he was using a small wire trap, and then the armadillo tore it up. He walks out of the field and gives it a big toss, and goes gets it. Besides, it'll be a possum trap from now on, and he'll have to come up with something. He built a big wooden trap with 2 doors, like a tunnel. Never did see the rest. Now that 8 p.m. is Florida time. He should do a premiere if he's got a purpose, not just his. Or is it Friday? Is that a fat lizard on salad or what? But captivity does that to him. I've looked at lots of pics of lizards on the Google, and I even have a couple of channels that they have dragons too. Well, one, hers is another 6 inches bigger than mine. I don't know. That thing's enormous. He hates the camera. Boy, he'll freeze if I pick up the cell phone and point at him. That's why the webcam seems to do a little better. But he really needs to go and get up in the heat. Digest. Yes, go sit down. Fat pig. Bullfrog face. I'm gonna take a picture of your face and Photoshop it to a frog. I swear I am if you don't get up there and lay down. Fine. Alright, cool. Yeah, he's gotten quite big in the 6 months I've had him. I'd love to put a leash on him and train him with a leash so that I could take him out in the summertime, but I did both of my iguanas back when I could still move around. Maybe I'll build a cage under my walker. There you go, lay down. Let that heat digest your food for you. Predictable. That's how I got fat. Just lay around all day. Did I lose you, Knuckin? Looks like a while ago. After you said hi to Michelle, you must have got up and left. I don't even know what time it is. This 1 month, we're about 3 days into a month that the rotation of the earth tilts and the sun comes in my window when it clears the home next to me. But then in about a month, it's straight enough up in the sky, it doesn't shine right directly on me. And a couple weeks and it'll be right into the tank when the sun comes up. See if you don't get a tan like I do. Uh-oh. Maybe the world didn't end. I hear people. Yeah, Kumini will have to run the first part of my stream. I added an extension cord to my webcam and I put it in my window to watch the leaves blowing around in my dead grass yard. I was doing so good too. I had seeded it 3 times with natural seeds, and they made me mow it. I'm back to about 40% grass. I should have been at 70. Stupid people. Did this stream stop? What the hell? 1 hour, 20 minutes. Nothing's gone. Maybe she went to furry. Alright, I guess I'll go fix my lunch now that you ate half of your food. Well, thanks for stopping in the show. And knocking if you're still there, though it says there's only 1. 2. Oh, I never know how accurate that little thing is. I think she went to check on furry because that's when she left. So I'm just going to shut it down, and I'll try to get her to check her live. If it works, then maybe she'll go live tonight. If not, I'll probably go live again. Hey, Lone Wolf, what's up, man? I was just testing out my extension cord on my webcam so I can point the camera out the window, but I won't get the sound outside. So, yep, see you, Spirit. And then I fed my dragon. He's all fattened up, sitting up there, sucking up the heat. You do? You gotta, oh, here. I don't know why I just didn't do this. I haven't had to do this in a while. Post it. Because I'm getting ready to shut down. I'll go there from here. Apparently, we gotta go check up and see what's going on with furry too. And that's for the pools. If he can throw money in and don't know where or who it will benefit and want to help, we got people organizing to figure that out. Okay. All right. That's for knucking. Okay. I appreciate that, Lone Wolf. You can't just copy the HTTP and throw it in here. Oh, you probably don't have it yet. I don't know how it all works. I'm so new at this. Somebody gave me a webcam. They should have known better. Okay. Should put that in the description too. Yeah, there's a whole group of us that can't do much, but we try to do what we can, and then there's those that just really get out there and do it because they can. But it makes for a good group. Well, I've sent money across the United States, so you do what you can to help when you can. I have an open door policy for anybody who wants to or needs to. I even told them when they're over there in Chicago, if they swim across the lake, they can probably get citizenship over here in Michigan. It's so corrupt over in Illinois. So corrupt. And we're not any better. We're not a hypocrite. We suck in Michigan too. I'm in a perfect part of southern Michigan. It sends all the bad weather north or south, and we get this really nice climate year round. Texas Rebels live. I could probably keep track if I didn't have a bowl in one hand and a lighter in the other. But the bowl's almost gone. Luckily, it wasn't my bong, or we'd be here another hour. All right, Lone Wolf, I'll check your upload out. I know you got you on notifications, so you throw in a description. It can be mirrored or shared, and I'll share it too. Yes, Illinois really sucks. I'll put you in the description too. The channel. I learned how. I'm 8 years from learning to cut and paste. I'm really doing good. Not too many people learned when they were 50. All right, everybody go about their business, and hopefully Knockin' will be live tonight. If not, I'll probably be live tonight. One of the two, depending on. If she can't go live, she'll probably be too upset. But I have another 8-foot cord that I can add to my live cam, so I can take it outside when we blow bubbles for you guys. And it won't be too long, a little over a month, and I'll be blowing bubbles with my 87-year-old mother. I'm going to show you all the highlights of northern lower Michigan. If I can get out of the chair. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, Lone Wolf. I appreciate you coming and letting me know. We'll check on that road. You always do an awesome job. Thank you so much. He's probably gone. See you guys. And we gone.